Hi, I'm Fite, and I'm here with Fisti Cuffs from Gotham Girls. We're going to talk to you today about Gotham Girls and the team, and hopefully you'll get an idea about whether you want to go for these guys on the RDX tour or whether you want to go for LA Derby Dolls on the RDX tour.
Well, you really want to maintain that back wall, and you think that that's the most advantageous position for you to be in. You want to maintain it as much as possible.
All right, but shocking news.
How long have you been skating bank track?
Our first bank track game was against LA in 2011, in spring 2011, and so that's really when we kind of started. Some of us had skated on a bank track before, just when we had the opportunity for fun.
Yeah.
And it was good. We all thought it was exciting, and when LA offered to have us out for a game, we kind of jumped on the opportunity. It sounded like a fun experience.
As you would,
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. So how does bank track skating differ physically from flat track skating?
Well, I think the physics of the track are probably the biggest difference. You're fighting in flat track. You're fighting against centrifugal force to hit in. So you want to go with the centrifugal force, pushing out. So hitting out is where you get the big, solid, strong hits.
Yeah.
Conversely, on a bank track, you're fighting gravity. If you hit out, so you have the big
The slope.
the big hits
Yeah.
towards the inside where you're going with gravity. I think that there are other differences other than the rules, where there's the rail on the outside. You're fighting. You have to learn to use the rail as a teammate and as a blocker, and not be afraid of it. Don't fear the rail.
Does the 60-second jams make much of a difference?
It can. I think that the biggest difference is probably on power plays, and sometimes a 60-second jam can be better because you end up not having those gigantic swings in points one side or the other, because you can't score as many points in a jam. To be honest, most jams in flat track last a minute and a half or less, just because the lead jammer calls it off before the minute is up, or before the 2 minutes are up, definitely.
Did you find it an easy transition from flat track to bank track?
I think that, I don't know if it was necessarily easy, but it was definitely fun. I think that both games are important and are fun and are important to the sport, and there are some things about bank track roller derby that are very, very different from flat track roller derby and can be very exciting. You definitely get more speed on a bank track.
Yeah.
I think it's 25 miles an hour. You can get up to 25 miles an hour in the pack, and then if you get a whip or a push, jammers can exceed 30 miles per hour.
Wow.
So it's you have a lot more speed, which is very exciting. There are differences. Some people really like being able to sit up to the track, and you get skaters flying into the audience all the time. In flat track, in bank track, that just doesn't happen as much. But some people also like getting the big hits that having people fly over the rail, although that happens a lot less in bank track.
How long have you been skating for?
I've been skating since December 2003. I used to skate for Tucson Roller Derby, and I went to their first practice. It was a friend of a friend had started skating in Arizona Roller Derby, which was the second league to start up after the Texas leagues. Or I suppose it was the third league because they had just split. And she put me in contact with the founder of Tucson Roller Derby.
You've described skating as bowling on roller skates. What about the sport first gave you that impression?
To be completely honest, like I said, there wasn't a lot of roller derby in the country when I started, and I really had no idea what I was getting into. I had never seen a game, and I had this very vague image of people roller skating and doing something that apparently vaguely reminded me of bowling.
A jammer breaking through the bowling pins or something like that.
Something like that. So I really didn't know what the rules were, or I didn't have any idea of the sport, and I certainly didn't have any idea what the sport was going to become.
So you didn't know what you were in for in the beginning?
No, I didn't. And actually, I think that most of the skaters, there were about 10 girls at that first practice, and we went to the roller rink and we were skating. We were all on rental skates. The DJ, who ended up being a referee for us, announced us as Tucson Roller Derby, and all of the regulars at the open skate night laughed at us because how could we play roller derby? We didn't even know how to roller skate.
On rental skates.
Yeah,
Aww.
and so it was kind of funny. But we kept going to practice, and eventually we kind of gained the rink rats' respect.
Awesome. How did it feel to be on the team that beat the Texecutioners and to be the jammer in the last jam?
And that was definitely one of my career highlights in roller derby. It was very exciting. It was very stressful. It's also, I think, one of the reasons why I really stopped wanting to jam. It's a lot of pressure to be in that situation and in situations like that. And I like blocking. There's a lot less pressure. I feel like I am a better blocker. I'm a cerebral player, so it's been fun. But going back to that game was so much fun. It was so exciting to finally beat the Texecutioners. We had played them a few times leading up to that game, and they were the pinnacle of roller derby, and they still, in a lot of ways, are the pinnacle of roller derby. I mean, they are the one team that has been at or near the top since the sport began, and so I think that being able to beat them for the first time was very, very exciting.
And I bet the after party was just amazing.
Every after party in Texas is amazing. Those girls know how to throw an after party.
Awesome. So, why should people pick Gotham over LA Derby Dolls?
I think that we play flat track roller derby. I think that most leagues in the country and all leagues in Australia definitely play flat track roller derby, and so we're all the same family. Vote for your family.
Yeah.
Cheer for your family.
Go for your flat track friends. So, this has been Fisti Cuffs. I'm Fite, and she's going to be playing in RDX. Will you be going for Gotham? That's the big question.